Welcome to Camp Chaos, where we celebrate the wild ride of modern womanhood.
Join us as we dish on motherhood, life's ups and downs, and all things pop culture that we know you want to talk about.
With special guests and expert insights, we're here to empower you through the chaos of everyday life.
Consider this your ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle. And as always, parental guidance suggested.
Camp is now in session. All right, everyone, welcome back to a special episode of Camp Chaos Mother Day edition.
Yes.
Today we're having a little bit of a reflection on the moms that we are versus the moms that we thought we would be, which sounds very heavy.
It sounds very heavy, but I feel like, that's kind of what Mother's Day is about. It's like a time to reflect on yourself as a mom and like the job that you've done and the job that you carry every day. It's like so much bigger than just the day, but I think it's a good time to like talk about it and reflect.
Yeah, and I feel like that transition of going from like, oh, you're just a daughter, not just a daughter, but like you're a daughter to like, wait, this is I am somebody's mom. And I still can't believe. And you're a mother of 3, by the way.
Oh, mind blowing.
Mind blowing. But like you do realize as you grow up and have your own children that you're like, oh, my parents were just regular people that were just trying to figure it out. Like didn't you look back at your parents and be like, they know everything. They know everything.
They are superheroes. They're all the like.
Yes, which is exactly what I want my kids to think.
Right.
However, you realize like we're all just doing the best we can.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, I think like we thought it'd be interesting to talk about kind of maybe like what we expected motherhood and like the moms we thought we'd be versus like what we actually are. And I think obviously it's not like black and white. It's a gray area and we're like still transitioning, of course, into like the moms that we are growing into.
And depending on how your child is behaving.
Oh, literally.
It's like really you are actually leading the way. But I do find it interesting that like sometimes you are this mom that's like very relaxed, like type B, and then others you're like very scheduled and regimented and more like a militant mom. Like I will tell you, I thought that I was going to be a little bit more militant with my kids than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm something in the middle with like, more relaxed and like there's not like every day a schedule. There's not so much of a routine. It's more of like free, I guess. But then there's other times where I'm like so my poor kids are like, what are we going to get from this crazy lady today?
I think for me, when you talk about having kids, like before you actually have kids with your husband or with other people, you're like, who's going to be the strict one? Who's going to be the da-da-da? I think I always thought I was going to be the strict one just because I am more type A.
You're disciplined.
I'm disciplined with myself. I think I have high expectations of other people, especially people close to me. So I thought that, and out of Drew and I am absolutely the one with more patience.
Really?
I
love that.
Absolutely, which he's gonna hate if he hears that. But like I just have more grace for the kids. And I've been talking about it lately, especially just like with her around. I think God gives, I think I told you this, like I think he gives moms a superpower of patience. What we deal with on a day-to-day basis is not normal. And like these hooligans that are running our lives, and like at the end of the day, Drew will lose his patience, rightfully so. And he's been helping me so much with the other 2. And I think he's like, oh my God, he literally one day was like, I'm going to throw Miller out the window. Like he's driving me nuts. And I have so much more patience for them. And I'm so like less strict and less like, if he doesn't want to do that, he doesn't have to do that. Where Drew's like, no, we scheduled.
You're becoming a little bit more passive.
Yes.
Because you have no choice. I think you're kind of giving into it.
Well, and I think between the 2 of us, it's like, well, what are these kids going to be in military school?
Yes, like, somebody's got to relax around here.
Somebody has to relax. Somebody has to just like make it seem like it's not all that serious.
Yeah.
And I think I thought I was going to be a really serious.
I'm glad that you're not, though. It's so much more fun for their childhood. I do also believe that like I try to make sure that my kids will always think like my mom loves spending time with us and like we did such fun stuff. And I think I didn't realize that before I became a mom until like actually having kids of like I'm always thinking of like what is the next thing that we can do? What is the next thing I could teach them? Like even, Easter is coming up and I'm thinking, okay, like we're doing charity baskets for the kids and like making them a part of that. Like I never would have thought before of like that I would try to show them how to give back and how to be like, more charitable and have a bigger heart and giving like there's these little things that I feel like until you become a mom and then you pull back from your childhood that you're implementing that you're like, oh, I'm not doing that bad after all today in this moment.
No, I think that's really true. And I think also like you think about before you became a mom, and it seems like, okay, motherhood is feeding the kids and changing their
So
diaper and doing all
task-oriented.
yeah, and then you
Keeping
get
them alive.
into it and you're like, wait, the more important parts are teaching them like respect and
Yeah.
you know,
How to be
giving
good
back,
people.
how to be
Yeah.
good people, how to be kind, how to share. And so your day is more situated around like negotiating and like creating situations where you're like, okay, my pediatrician actually just gave me this thing of with Miller, like she said, you know, be really careful because she was saying coming from an oldest, as in she's the oldest, and I'm like listening because I'm like, oh, here comes me, like I'm the oldest, that they automatically put so much pressure on themselves, and they're automatically,
you already know that.
Yeah, and she wasn't telling me anything new, but it was interesting to hear from her. And she was like, Miller is already a people pleaser. Like all he wants to do is please you and Drew, and so you need to make sure that you don't applaud the outcome that he's giving you. You need to applaud his effort every single time. And so then your day is situated around that. Like, how do I make Miller feel like I'm just proud of him for trying to go to jujitsu today?
Well, you know, and it's so funny. I feel like, and maybe this is inconsistent and an unpopular opinion, but I am a different mom to Zane than I am to Zoe.
Totally.
Because their needs are different. And like, you know, Zane, like he is much more introvert. He's more like an observer. I hate the word shy. But with Zoe, I'm like, girlfriend, you sit down. You're going to go to boarding school if you keep this behavior up. But like with Zane, I'm like, I want him to be adventurous. I want him to like step outside of his shell. Where Zoe, I'm like constantly pulling her back. Like there's this yin and yang, I think, of motherhood that I thought it was like one size fits all. And you realize that it's not. I did hear this quote for the new school that Zane is going to, that they had it on their website, that it's so much easier to nurture a child than heal an adult. And for some reason that hit me so hard of like, oh my God, their childhood is so precious and so important. And granted, they are born with their personalities, but I truly believe like we have the most important role of our lives and their lives by doing what we're doing as mothers.
Yes. And I think with that comes like the huge burden of motherhood that's like almost unspoken, where every single day you just feel like, did I fail today? Did I make it today? Is like, because you feel like their lives, their future, like so much
is riding on
you. And like when you lose your shit with them and you're like, did I just ruin it? Is this sending him to therapy when he's 12?
2 days ago, I put Zane to bed and I'm by myself without, you know, my husband here, Zoe's sick, and I'm losing it. Like, and I'm raising my voice with Zane. And then I'm laying with him, tucking him in to bed, reading him books. And he said, Mommy, I'm sorry I upset you. I could cry now as I just said it to you.
I'm going to cry because remind me of what Miller said.
I literally started crying. He said, why did I make you sad? I'm sorry I made you sad. I'm like, oh, Mommy is not sad. I'm sorry that I was like, this is, you get in this like push and pull of like, I need to parent you. And like, yes, I lose my cool. Yes, like I have these moments where I'm going to threaten you or I'm going to be harsh on you. And like, you're only 3.5 and like, you just need love from your mommy. And like the disciplining of these kids are so hard, but it does kind of remind me of like the mom that I thought I would be, was very militant and strict and like no bullshit. And now I'm like, it's a little bullshit's okay here and there. You're okay. 3.
You're 3. But I think it's also okay to like have those moments. Like same thing with me. It was like, I told you last night was just like a hard postpartum night for me. Like Palmer was losing
you texted me. I had a good cry. I'm like, lucky.
Miller was losing his mind and I like was losing my patience. And then I was crying and Miller said, same thing. Mommy, are you not happy? Mommy,
oh God.
Did I make you and I'm like, you're making me cry even more. And so I just said, he's like, what's on your face? I'm like, oh my God.
When you had tears on your face?
I had tears on my face. He said, what's on your face? Like he knew that I was upset. And I was trying to tell him, I said, Mommy, because I always say, Mommy has an owie from Dawson. Like that's why I can't do all the things that I used to do. My owie's inside my stomach because Dawson grew inside my stomach. This was like the first week that I was home.
Oh, he's learning big things right now.
Learning big things. And I was just like, Mommy's just having a really tough time. It has nothing to do with you. But it did. It had everything to do with him and the way he was acting and the way Palmer was acting. But the boys are at this age now where they recognize our feelings and you're like,
well, I think
it's good to recognize.
Absolutely. But I also do think that they're at this age where they're testing the boundaries and seeing what they can get away with. And they are like seeing how far they could push. Like Zane looked at me the other day when I was like disciplining him. And I swear to God, he was like checking me of like what? Like he like did one of those. I'm like, oh no, you did not. Like I like had a moment of like, who are you? Where did you just come from?
Miller learns all these like sayings
from school.
I
hate the school thing.
And he says, Mommy, I need some space.
Oh, Zane's been saying this. I actually appreciate that I need the space. No, I appreciate that.
But I said, everybody gives you space but Mommy. Mommy doesn't give you space.
Yeah.
You grew in mommy's tummy. Mommy doesn't give you space.
Forever.
Like, are you kidding
30,
me?
You'll be 30 walking down the aisle with that bride of yours,
like,
and I'll be
don't,
right there.
Don't say those things to me. That's not nice.
Okay,
and I'm like,
yeah.
oh no,
Great.
here we go.
Did you know that we spend about 90% of our time indoors, yet indoor air can be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air? That's where Air Doctor comes in. It's the award-winning air purifier that removes 99.99% of dangerous contaminants. We're talking allergens, smoke, mold spores, even viruses and toxic gases. Air Doctor was voted best air purifier by Newsweek, and 98% of customers say their air feels cleaner, safer, and healthier. What makes it different? Air Doctor captures up particles 100 times smaller than ordinary HEPA filters. If you've been thinking about getting an air purifier, this is your sign. And especially if you have little ones, moms, I could not live without my Air Doctor. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use code CAMP to get up to $300 off, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee and a free 3-year warranty. That's $84 value for free. Again, that's airdoctorpro.com, airdoctorpro.com, promo code CAMP. Another thing that I've recently learned after becoming a baseball mom.
Yes, you are a baseball mom.
And Zane would prefer me not to be because he doesn't want to play baseball, but we've made a commitment, and like,
this is going to not commitment.
Yes, not that this is going to go into sports, but like, you do not start sports until you are ready. Forget your child, but like anything before 4, in my opinion, is like way too young. Mm-hmm. So we started soccer right when he turned 3, and then it was like 3 times, and we're not going to that again. So he still says, same. "Mommy, why are we not going to soccer?" I'm like,
we all failed out of soccer.
It rained, but my point is of like, you show them of like, you have a commitment. You're going to do this. We signed up for this. So I told him, I think it was the second game of baseball, I said, you'll get bubblegum if you play baseball. I did a little bribe. And I knew I was going to be a bribery mom because my parents raised me with bribery, which like, no shame. That's fine. We respect what it is. And my mom has always said to me, just wait till he's bribeable. Just wait till he's bribeable. Which is like so weird, but it is helpful. Yeah. So then I give him bubblegum. So now I've created this bad habit of where he's like on the field and he's like, I need the gum. And so I got the healthy gum, and it runs out of flavor in like 2 minutes. So he goes, I need more gum. And then I didn't bring the gum the last time. And he's like, I'm not going out. I'm not playing. He sat there. He took off his helmet. He said, I took off his hat. He wanted to take off his shoes. He said, I'm not. And I went there. I like grabbed him and I said, you will get out. Like, I had a very stern moment with him.
Did he go out?
In tears, yeah.
No, I think that,
and that's where I didn't know I was going to be that stern of a mom. Like, that's why I'm like, this poor kid doesn't know what he's going to get.
No, but I think that is part of motherhood, right? Because if you didn't, you would have been, you're not teaching him the lesson that he needs to learn of like, just because I bribed you, which thank you, that's for me, doesn't mean that like you control the situation all the time. You have to do things that you don't want to do. And then like to my pediatrician's point, then you applaud the effort. Like, okay, you went out there with tears and you probably didn't play a great game, but like, I'm so proud of you for going out there when you didn't want to go out there kind of thing. I mean, we feel the same way about jujitsu. Like Miller screamed crying going, and we told him like, with it. You have to do something. You can't sit at home and watch Lion King and play in the backyard all the time. Like you need to do something. And now he asks every single day to go to jujitsu.
Yeah, it'll pay off.
Which like is great. And now he's reaping the benefits. But like if we didn't force him to go when he was screaming crying, we wouldn't be to where we are now.
Yeah, I do also think like at the end of the day, these children like will blame you as they become adults for one thing or another.
We're going to be blamed
for everything.
Even if
it was my mom, it's my mom's fault. Yeah, even if it was
done me in therapy.
Even if it was done 100% correctly. So I think that you just have to see like for the like holistically of your family of like what makes sense of like who's the mean one, who's the punisher, like who's being aligned in some regard, but like I hate it when it's like, oh, well, daddy's going to find out, or like, I'm going to call mommy. And like Gus will do that. He's like, well, mommy's going to be upset. I'm like, excuse me, mommy's not going to be upset. That cannot work.
That cannot work. But I will say like, Drew is the one that's with Miller like most of the time. And at first I was like offended by it because I used to be Miller's number one. And then kind of like after Palmer and I put Palmer down, like Drew puts Miller down. Miller is probably more scared of Drew than me, but Drew is the one he's asking for,
Interesting.
And so
I don't know how I'd handle that.
Well, yeah, it's been really hard for me. truthfully, like it makes me want to cry sometimes. And I'll ask him like, can I read you stories? And he only wants daddy. But then I was like
I'm so lucky my kids like me more than my
reading
husband.
some things. And it was like, dads for little boys should be their most, and Drew didn't have the ideal childhood with his dad. Yeah. So I think for him, I remind myself like when I'm peeking in their room and I see Drew reading him stories,
is so
I'm like,
healthy for both of them.
This is healthy for both of them. Absolutely. Like this is healing for Drew.
Totally.
This for Miller to be able to look up to his dad and like absolutely
admire him. It's so huge.
It's huge. Yeah. And I'm like, I know you adore me. Like I know when I could get you back if I really wanted to.
Right now I'm a little busy, but you just wait. Mommy's going to be on a comeback tour soon. Oh my God.
I could get you back. But I think that is important. But I do think like, you know, on a day like Mother's Day, it's like this is the time where we should be patting ourselves on the back. Like whether you are the mom that you thought you were going to be, whether you're not, like
no matter how much
we are putting one foot in front of the other, and we are the most important people in these kids' lives.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. You could say it louder for the people in the back. Also, I think it's so wild of like how you look at situations in the world, whether that's politics, whether that like any situation, environmental, and everything has completely shifted in your mind after becoming a mom.
No,
like,
it's
the way that you look at anything, whether that's your grocery list, whether that's political, like I was saying, like it does not matter. You just think of your children, your children, your children. And I often say like, who was I before these kids?
No, it's so true. And you know, sometimes Instagram is great and sometimes it can bring you down. But I always see those memes and all the text that's on Instagram, and it's so true of like a mom is born when 100%. Like you become who you were always meant to be when you become a mom. Like you are just born into this new person. You can't even just like what you said, you can't even think about who you were before. I'm literally like, before I had kids, I was a loser.
I don't think I was a loser.
I was. But like I just had
I don't feel like I had any depth. There was no depth.
No.
It was like you're so surface. Like what did you think was important, honey? But we were not losers.
I mean, I just feel like it was like giving loser vibes. And now I'm like, I'm way cooler.
Oh, they made you cool?
Yes.
Oh, I love that for you. That's cute.
So?
No, not at all. I was so cool. I would like be able to travel anywhere, go anywhere I want, stay out. Like, no, I was definitely cool, but they've given me purpose and they've given me a new life that I would never, ever, ever, like I would not trade that for anything, but I was not a loser.
I just feel like I have so much more like
there's more to talk about.
And authority.
And there's like, a lot more to talk about. Like you could talk
about, and like in life, I'm just like, yeah, I know that. Like people come to me for things. Like I feel like I have something to offer people, like even more than my kids. So then I think of myself as loser vibes before.
Oh my God. Well, you know, on this Mother's Day, I hope you're not looking at your old self and calling yourself a loser.
Or maybe you are, and now you're like me, and you're
and
like,
you could thank those little children.
So cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so, really quickly before we wrap this up, let's just quickly say what our ideal Mother's Day celebration is. I'll tell you what it is. Pelican Hill massage without my kids.
Oh, without your kids?
Without my kids. Full day at the spa, maybe even with my girlfriends, followed by like wine tasting, followed by dinner at Ocean 48.
You are so like postpartum right now. This is you postpartum.
And then
right
maybe
now.
Like staying at Pelican by myself, sleeping through the night, waking up to breakfast in the morning. Well, you want to spend it with your kids?
Do your kids get to meet you for breakfast the next morning?
Sure. They can come to breakfast.
I feel like you're just saying this because you're really in it right now that you just brought home a third baby. But you could do that on like other weekends. And I'm all for that. We should probably schedule it. I feel like on Mother's Day.
Spend Mother's Day with your kids?
I mean, yeah. And my mom.
Yeah, and my mom.
Oh, okay. Now you're going to say your mom?
My mom.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Your kids made you a mom.
No, I know.
Look at me. If you are at the Pelican Hill and you're by the pool and you see their moms like loving on their kids, you'll be sitting in a puddle of tears crying.
I mean, for like a second and then I'll be over it. I think, no, but I want to be with my mom because I'm older now and I can like properly thank her.
Yeah.
Like, what my kids aren't thanking me right now. Like I think it's cute when your kids are older. Like I remember this where we used to with my dad be downstairs and we used to help him cook my mom at like a fancy dinner. My mom we'd turn on her favorite movie upstairs. Like that would be cute.
like their
this
own
where
way
we're
of
chasing
like, this is pampering. Okay.
But where we're like chasing after them right now.
While you're the staff. You don't want to be a staff. Okay, I got it. I can appreciate that.
No, thank you.
I mean, in my ideal Mother's Day, it'll be me going away with my kids and my nanny and my mom.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I want my kids there.
Okay.
I want help with them. I don't want to be want to be the staff.
No.
I want to help. I want my nanny to help me. And this is just me being very honest.
Right.
You can get in the pool with them. She needs a nap. That one, like,
okay, she can go.
That sounds like that sounds pretty good.
Totally.
Right?
It's
you get the best of both worlds.
My vibe.
I'd love to step away and get a massage. I'd like to be somewhere that I'm not like home with any responsibilities, whether it's staycation or even maybe getting on an hour plane somewhere.
So very similar to my thing.
But I want my kids to come with me.
And I could
maybe even one
smoochy.
You could go without the kisses. I could even leave one in the nanny's room overnight. Like you could take that one.
That bad.
I don't need them that bad. I just need them a little bit. But
that's why I think it'd be like more fun to do it with friends. My mom and all of her cousins, they used to do on Mother's Day. A limo would pick them up in the morning and they would go do like a brunch, go to the movies.
Just the moms.
Just the moms.
You know, it is a whole weekend. Why don't you do why can't we do a Saturday with the kids, Sunday without?
Yeah. And like,
or opposite.
Yeah.
Saturday without the kids, Sunday with.
With like your girlfriends. Like it's
okay, let's make this a thing.
We get our kids every single day. It's fine.
I don't think this one's going to think it's very fine. So good luck to you. This isn't your perfect world. It's not happening.
Oh my God.
And I wouldn't mind an orange box, a little like light blue box. Like I wouldn't mind a good gift. So
wouldn't mind diamonds.
I wouldn't mind diamonds and I wouldn't mind a handbag.
A little thank you.
Just a little show me what you think I did this past year. What do you think? I mean, if Gus asked me, I'd be like, well, you show me the effort. He'll give me nothing. He'll be like, really? Here's the bill from the nanny.
I was about to say
100%.
He's going to have Louisa wrapped with a bow.
He actually may be getting her the gift. No, but like I do hope that there is like the effort of like, okay, you're making mommy cards, you're going to get mommy flowers. Like that starts at this age.
Yes. And let's make sure we release this episodes and send it to our husbands
100%.
so that they know the expectations.
100%. That's right.
And I hope that you all are treated like queens on your Mother's Day too.
Have a happy Mother's Day. Thanks for tuning in to Camp Chaos. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Connect with us on social media at Camp Chaos Podcast. Until next time, campers.